Hello, how you doing? I'm the founder of Dinar. We're an app that allows businesses and individuals in Ghana to receive digital payments and buy crypto through mobile money and bank accounts. I've engaged with the Central Bank of Ghana. I've engaged with SEC in Ghana. I've been in several African countries. Before that, I was a commodities trader, import export. Before that, I was, trading currency derivatives. Ran a small fund when I was in college. So, yeah, definitely. We're looking at other African countries, and we're really focused on being able to give access to digital assets in Africa. Thank you.
Hi guys, thanks for inviting me to the summit for the second year. I'm really excited. My name's Eric Latham. I came into the crypto space around 2017. I really was just so you dip your toe in, and then you realize what Bitcoin is and what it can do, really for oppressed people. And that's how I really got excited about it. Here in the U.S., we remember we had a very tumultuous summer last summer, and I created an organization called Bitcoin Volunteer Vote. And what that does is it encourages community building and wealth building on a broader scale. So what I do is I reward people for volunteering. So if you volunteer and speak about Bitcoin, you don't have to. You can go to the store on my website, bvvgiftcard.com, and you can exchange your volunteer hours for items in the store. Nothing in the store is available for sale. It's only available for exchange through volunteer hours. So what we seek to do is to reward Bitcoin, people who are excited about Bitcoin and people who volunteer. So if you haven't, and this is anywhere. The only thing you pay for is your shipping cost, and you do that with the Lightning invoice. That way, we teach people who aren't so familiar with Bitcoin to sort of force them to learn about it. So the goal is I have items in my store that are so cool that, and the only way to get it is through volunteering. That it forces you to, one, volunteer, and two, it forces you to learn about Bitcoin, because that's the only way to pay the shipping invoice. And so I just go out to communities that I feel can benefit from Bitcoin, which all communities can. And we promote, hey, you're already doing great things for your community and volunteering already. Why don't you get something for it? Trade your volunteer hours for some items in the store.
Okay, let's get into the topic of conversation, starting with Eric at this time. In what ways, when people come up to you and they say, look, I want to know about how to be rich, because that's the conversation, how to be rich through trading. I mean, what is your response to such a question?
So for me, I play it safe because I'm not rich. I don't have that much money to lose. So I just do it's called DCA, dollar cost averaging, and I hodl, which I just hold. I was raised through really simple means. My parents were just the edict that if you save more than you spend, you'll build wealth. So I just point people into the direction of, because if they're new, just play with it, have a little bit, and just hold it for a while, because I'm a very emotional person. So, if I see the price going up, I'm gonna why buy more? If I see it, and if I have a big investment, something to see it going down, I'd probably sell it. So I like to play it safe in terms of asking people to trade. I just say, hey, you know what? You probably do a lot better if you just hold, what you buy. If it's Bitcoin, if you just hold it. And I hear that a lot from traders too. A lot of traders I follow on Twitter actually don't promote trading, because they say, you're more than likely to lose your money if you trade. So I like to play it safe, and I like to say, hey, grab it, hold it, and then just let the cake bake.
I want to be rich. How can you help me? What's your response?
Buy Bitcoin, buy Cardano, and just forget about life. That's just that simple. Just buy your Bitcoin. I mean, technically speaking, if you look at the way cryptocurrency, the Bitcoin blockchain is designed, I mean, it's going to sooner or later surpass gold, right? When the price of Bitcoin hits 500K, it's going to surpass gold. I mean, this is a true store of value. It's only a matter of time before it hits 500,000. 4 years down the line, it's going to, surpass and probably hit 1 million. right? For one Bitcoin. So, I mean, even if you buy 0.1 Bitcoin, yeah, that 0.1 Bitcoin might be worth $4,000 today, but 5 years down the line, 5 to 10 years down the line, it could be worth 10 times more. So, I mean, the days of owning one Bitcoin or 500 Bitcoin are over because we didn't buy, right? So a lot of people didn't buy. So, just buy Bitcoin, buy some ETH, buy some Litecoin, and just forget about it.
So Philip, in Ghana, has the trading craze hit there, peaked there, or are people just not aware? How are people approaching you who's knowledgeable about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies about trading?
In terms of trading, I would say when we started in 2014, what I'm saying now is crypto is really growing massively because I can see people selling $20,000, $100,000 in a day. People are willing to buy. And what it due to the payment system in Africa here. So most of the foreign countries based in, let me give an example about Ghana. So the foreign companies here based here, mostly the Chinese, they use crypto, especially USDT, making payment outside the country. So the demand for it is very, very huge here. So at the end of the day, I know people making like 5,000 Ghana cedis in a day. I'm around like $900. I know people making even 10,000 Ghana cedis in a day. That's getting to around $2,000. So in terms of crypto, even the minimum profits that someone can get here when buying and selling, I think that is around like 100 cedis or 150 cedis. So in a developing country, whereby you can earn 100 cedis in a day, I think it's really good because I'm not sure even bank managers can really even get that amount, can be paid in a day like 100 cedis or 200 cedis. But I know people in escrow groups, I'm into about 20 escrow groups. And when I watch how they're trading, how they are buying the cryptos and selling, and the amount of money that's involved moving in terms of mobile money payments, I think people are making a lot of wealth from trading, buying and selling crypto. In terms of people holding it too, I had one friend from university. Back then, I introduced him to crypto, but when Dogecoin came, he bought some. So he lost, he lost access to the email or something like that. So recently, about 2 or 3 days ago, he called me that, oh, Philip, something that I bought $50 is now around $3,000 something, $3,800. So he just saw it, oh, Philip, I want to share some. So the moment he shared like 2,000, so Philip, this, wow, I want to show it to my friends. Because there's something I bought like $50. I bought it around $50. And today I've changed around $2,000. So if this is not about wealth creation, I don't know what would be much described for wealth creation. So in terms of trading, in terms of holding, I think it has really changed a lot of people's life in Africa here.
In addition to trading, and anyone can tackle this question, is there any talk about staking opportunities or other aspects of DeFi that you see in your respective worlds that is increasing, or people just only talking about this idea of trading? And then how are they also managing the tax implications? Because I know in the United States it's a big deal, but I don't know what in terms internationally how that's impacting people's ability to be able to trade so easily. Anyone can take this.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and take that. Okay, so we did like a survey with people who are actually banking in Ghana, between the age of 35 to about 20. And this is the demographic that is really, really into crypto. That has caught a keen interest in crypto outside of like some of the business people in Ghana. And what I've been able to find out is that there's actually people actually trust some of the DeFi platforms. People are actually into DeFi. People don't really trust saving their money with the bank as much. The trust is there, but it's gradually dwindling. I mean, if somebody is able to, if there's a platform that's able to yield interest, it is definitely going to catch fire. I know a few people who are into the banking space in Ghana, or for particular banks that are actually using DeFi platforms. They're literally moving money from one account, from their retirement accounts, and put it into DeFi platforms. So, there's a lot of brewing interest there. There's definitely a lot of interest when it comes to staking, DeFi. People don't really know. I mean, if somebody's able to properly build something, you can literally potentially replace a bank, probably.
Thank you. Is anybody in your sphere looking at something other than just trading? Are they looking at staking and other aspects of DeFi, or is just the people you're encountering just your first approach to you is how I trade to make wealth in crypto? The other part of that question is, what are the ramifications that you let people, in your opinion, because we're still in the United States, we're not allowed to give such it's considered financial advice. So how are you guiding people to talk to, maybe if you're in the United States, professionals that are licensed to be able to give the financial advice? So yours is kind of three-tiered, whereas theirs is more two-tiered in terms of looking at the broader picture of DeFi as a kind of, go slow, as you mentioned, versus trading outright in the ecosystem.
Yeah, so my circle of people tend to be don't hold any crypto asset. The people I communicate with, I'm trying to just onboard them, period, to even dip their toe in the well. So people are very fearful of, what is this? This can't be real. There's no way I'm moving my money from, my retirement account into crypto. I think because in America, we do have the privilege of banking. So it doesn't really make sense to Americans outright to use crypto when, their retirement account, although it's only yielding 10% annually, they still are more comfortable with that system because crypto's so new to them. So for me, it's not so much about DeFi and trading and yield, because that's such a huge step for them. For me, it's getting them to just hold Bitcoin, to just get through a dip and survive a dip and not freak out when Bitcoin drops 50%, and get them to understand that actually buying the dip is the best thing you can do when Bitcoin goes down 50-40%, not to sell it. So I'm really in like the baby spoon feeding stage with the things I do, and I try to just get people really to buy it. And that's hard enough. My biggest seller is I was in the space since 2017. I saw Bitcoin at $700, and I didn't even get it then. I saw it at $700. I saw it go to $1,000, and I was like, "Ooh, I better start like getting some of this stuff." So a lot of it is, like, hey guys, you need to get off zero, and then when you get off zero, just hold it and then see how that goes from there.
So there isn't even a discussion on these two different levels, even Enoch experiencing in Ghana compared to what you're experiencing in the United States. It's kind of this wide spectrum of people of, I don't know what to do, to people like, look, I'll do whatever, I need to do to be able to gain some wealth. Philip, did you have something you wanted to add to the conversation?
In terms of staking, I'm actually staking Mcash. I don't know, but I know people who are doing futures and stuff on Binance, a lot of the crypto traders. But in terms of staking, I am actually staking Mcash and other cryptos, but I don't know about others. That one I don't really know much about it here. But I know guys doing Binance futures and stuff. And the crypto adoption here is really getting massive, not as compared to previously when we started.
All right. So in terms of in terms of lawmakers, are you receiving any pushback in terms of the government in Ghana saying, look, you got to stop the trading like Nigeria experienced, or if right now they just kind of have everything frozen? Well, Philip can take that question, actually.
Yeah, okay. So in Ghana, Ghana was the first country actually to discuss to come out with a pilot program for CBDCs. So I mean, and they also have a QR code adoption campaign going on right now. So with that in mind, Ghana's aiming to be cash light, and so there's this notion. I mean, there's definitely an understanding that Bitcoin it helps become more cash light, right? When you look at the demographics of the population, the majority of the population under the age of 35, right? 40, right? So, with that, these are the more savvy users with smartphones that want to be able to transact digitally, right? there is a fear of Bitcoin as an underlying threat, which will only come with over, it will become more accepted over time when there's a level of education involved. And so, but then again, you have certain regulatory authorities who are open to the innovation as well, right? And so, they're gonna have to accept it. Nigeria as well. Nigeria is gonna have to accept it. They're gonna eventually accept Bitcoin in Nigeria. It really depends upon the stakeholders who are having a discussion and the engagement, right? I mean, Nigeria saw that Ghana was coming out with the e-currency, and they decided to also launch their own e-currency, which is great, just fine, right? And they're now also trying to push a digital cash-light agenda with the QR codes. And so, I mean, I think the space is interesting. Let's see how the regulators are able to do their thing. However, in Africa, one thing I've learned, you do not ask for permission. It's just better to ask for forgiveness. If you're launching any type of crypto product, you're going to depend on the regulators. I mean, in any market, really, technically, with the exception of a couple markets, if you're going to launch something, just launch it. Just go for it. And make sure that you engage the regulators in the process, because at the end of the day, the regulators can be very slow to adopt, right? And then you also have African regulators looking at U.S. regulators trying to see what the U.S. is trying to do as well. And just because the U.S. is doing it, or the U.S. is doing it this way, I mean, it doesn't really mean that you should go about it the same way. Either way, they have already acknowledged it as an asset. So, it's one of those things where I think it's an interesting space. It's great, it's exciting in the developing world when it comes to cryptocurrency. And there's more coming.
Eric, you mentioned something early on about Lightning Network and invoice type thing product that you were using. Can you elaborate on what you touched on in your introduction?
So my website, BVV gift card, which guys, anyone can take advantage of this. So if you know any volunteer organizations, or if in fact if you're volunteering, you can point them to bvvgiftcard.com. And they can, exchange. There's a section where you can redeem your volunteer hours. I'll show you how to do it for items in the store. But the only thing that you pay for is the shipping, and I just do that via a Lightning invoice. And then the individual essentially has to already know how to use Lightning, or they have to learn. That's the incentive of getting receiving the item on the store. It's sort of like it forces you. The idea is to force you to learn. Of course, I'm there to walk you through it, but it's just any Lightning platform that you want to use. You can use a non-custodial wallet, a custodial wallet. It's just it's just an educational tool. I've learned that I can speak about something as much as I want, and that's not the best way to get people to adopt something. I think the best way to get people to adopt something is through incentive. And so part of having cool items in the store is the incentive of, okay, the way for me to get this is to pay through the Lightning invoice. And I would just basically present you a Lightning invoice, and it's on you to learn how to use it. And then that way, not only do you get the item, not only did you volunteer in your community, not only did you learn about Bitcoin, but now you're learning how to use Lightning as well. So it's kind of like,
so you provide links for people to first learn how to use it, and then how do you verify that people did the volunteer work that they said they did? And it's like, since two of our people, they're in Ghana, can someone from Ghana use your network as well? And how do they verify they did the service work that?
So we have we have a verification system where you post your experience on social media. Let's say you post on Twitter, and you post the tag to the organization that you volunteered with too, and you say, I volunteered X amount of hours with this organization. You can speak a little bit about what you did with the organization. And then the organization in your comments either like leaves a check symbol or verifies the number of hours that you put. They can put like a check emoji, or they can say, I co-sign the statement, or they can put a smiley face, but the organization has to comment in that post. And when the organization comments in that post, that therefore verifies that you actually did volunteer with that organization. And then from there, you can tag me in the post. And then from there, we just direct message with each other as to like what item you chose to pick in the store. And from there, I can determine what your address is and shipping. And then I can set up the Lightning invoice for you to pay for the shipping. And then voila, you know.
So you have all, where do you get your store things from? You have all like physical products that you have
Yeah,
to
they're
have
all
mailed,
physical
or?
products. And the idea is to reach out to artists. I have artists contribute to the store, and I have individuals contribute meaning things that they think are meaningful. I know all of us have something in our house that we love, but we just don't use. But it's cool, you know? And so it's those items that I ask participants to contribute to the store as well. So, you know, it's hard to let go of that thing, but it's a little easier to let it go if you know someone's going to be volunteering for it and you're contributing back to the community with it.
Tim, you know, did you want to add something on your end in terms of where you see the future of trade? And we have about 2 minutes left before the end of this panel. So you might be the last speaker on that in terms of the future, in terms of, you know, some directions that may be changing in terms of Ghana.
Okay, so I'll talk in terms of Ghana, Africa,
Yeah.
and globally. So, I mean, crypto adoption is growing, right? And Lightning is also increasing the usage of crypto. And so now it's adding to that level of adoption. So now what's happening, you know, the use case for Lightning is not going to be in developed markets. It's going to be in the emerging markets. You know, that's where the places, you know, the places where there's high instability, you know, that's where Lightning can succeed. I mean, you know, we literally see the situation that occurred in uh, El Salvador. You know, the situation that occurred in El Salvador occurred and became the way it is because of Lightning, right? And so, and Jack Dorsey is an investor in Lightning, right? And so, the Lightning Labs, right? So now, because of the stakeholders already involved, you know, it's really created that foundation of adoption. And now that Bitcoin has reached its point that it is, to the point that it's actually being used as legal tender by a government, it's going to continue to increase. In 10 days, 20% of El Salvador's population, about 17 to 20% of El Salvador's population had a Bitcoin wallet in 10 days after they legalized Bitcoin. That is huge. That is tremendous. So it's going to be a serious deal. Bitcoin will be a serious deal. Cryptocurrency will be a serious deal in the emerging world. And, you know, just find a way to partake in the space.